All right, we're back. We're still talking about things to consider when buying a home in 2023, in the winter of 2023. And now we're going to talk about the long-term benefits of home ownership. The long-term benefits of home ownership. Let's scroll down through everything that we've already read and let's talk about these long-term benefits. Where are they? Where are they? There we go. Long-term benefits of home ownership. Consider this. If you know people who bought a home 5, 10, or even 30 years ago, you're probably going to have a hard time finding someone who regrets their decision. Why is that? The reason is tied to how you gain equity and wealth as home values grow with time. You remember what was the movie about oh geez, it was the big house they bought, and I remember him falling through the floor, and it was just a horrible situation. They bought this big, massive fixer-upper, and it was a nightmare. And I can't remember the name. Oh, I paused the video so I could look it up. Remember The Money Pit with Tom Hanks and Shelley Long? Shelley Long. That reminds me of Cheers. Anyway, The Money Pit is very, very uncommon. I know you've heard horror stories, and for some reason, our brain locks in horror stories better than it does the good news. But let's talk about what really happens. The percentage in home prices over 5 years. Even though home price appreciation has moderated in 2022, home values have still increased significantly in recent years. The map below uses data from the Federal Housing Finance Agency to show just how noteworthy those gains have been over the last 5 years. All right, so percentage in house change over the last 5 years, national average 60.6%. That's insane. Can you even believe that? If you look at the percent change in home prices, you can see prices grew on average by around 60% nationwide over the last 5 years. That means the home's value can increase substantially even in a short time. Holy cow, I can't even comprehend that. Look at that. It looks like North Carolina is 76.7. That I can't imagine that that's correct. That seems too much. That means if you bought a house 5 years ago and the value was $100,000, 5 years later it's $176,000. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, that seems maybe like it's right. It's just a lot, though. I mean, it's just a bunch of increase. And if you expand that time frame even more, the benefit of home ownership and the drastic gains, you stand to make even the drastic gains you stand to make become even clearer. Look at this, 288% since 1991. Let's think. Around 91, I bought a house for $76,000. Is it worth 3 times that, or 288% of that today? Let's just do the math. I'm curious. 76,000 times 2.8. Oops. Oh, sorry. 76,000 times 2.88. Is it worth $218,000 today? I don't know. Maybe. It's probably close to that. Yeah. It's probably in the 190s, I would guess. So in my scenario, in that particular house, yeah, would it have worked out? It's pretty close. Pretty close to that. Look at that, 291% in North Carolina. It's insane. It's hard to comprehend. Okay. The second map shows nationwide home prices appreciated by an average of nearly $290,000. While home price growth varies by state and local area. Let me just stop and say this for a minute. I talk to young people in their early 20s, their mid 20s, early 30s, and they're investing in cryptocurrency. Is cryptocurrency going to be the next Amazon or the next Tesla or the next Facebook or the next Microsoft or the next Apple and make you $1 million? Maybe. I don't know. This hasn't been a good year for cryptocurrency, but if you're a 25 to 35-year-old and you're throwing money into crypto on the chance that it makes big money and you're renting, my mama says if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But if you're throwing money into crypto and you're renting, I don't have anything nice to say about that. I think it's a bad decision. Is crypto a bad decision by itself? No. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But I'd put money in my house first. I certainly wouldn't be renting. While home price growth varies from state to state and local area, the nationwide average tells you the typical home owner who has bought a house 30 years ago saw their home increase significantly over that time. This is why homeowners who bought their homes years ago are still happy with their decision. The alternative to buying a home is renting, and rental prices have been climbing for decades. So why rent and deal with annual lease hikes for no long-term financial benefit? That's not true. There is a long-term financial benefit. You just don't get it. Your landlord does. Instead, and I'm not supposed to say landlord anymore. I think that is a word we're trying to remove from our vocabulary. So I don't know what the right word is. It's the person you rent from. Instead, if you're ready, consider buying a home. It's an investment in your future that could set you up for long-term gains. Bottom line, data shows home values typically appreciate over time, and that gives your net worth a nice boost. If you're ready to buy a home, let's connect today. So again, this is who I am. I'm Josh McDowell. I'm with Churchill Mortgage. You say, Josh, that means you have a personal interest in me buying a house. Absolutely, yeah, no question. If you buy a house and you do your mortgage with me, that's how I make a living. At the same time, the reason I'm in the mortgage business is because I got sick and tired of selling things that I either didn't believe in or only marginally believed in. But I'm selling something today. I don't sell houses, but I sell mortgages, and the mortgage is the way that you can buy a home that is an investment. It's the best investment I've ever heard of, I've ever seen. I'm not only a spokesperson, I'm a client. I love the fact that I own some real estate, and real estate has been my number one wealth builder in my life.